map function. So map function, here we are defining a square. One is a function which consists of a operation is square of the number star star 2, just we given that power of 2. And also along that we took a variable which is a list data type, which consists of 5 elements here, which we are going to map this function with the multiple variables. See how we are making it. See, map is a function which is holding, first one is a function name, and second one is a variable which is holding a multiple values, okay, which consists of this one. See, when we run this map function, first we'll run this square function, and next we are running that variable that is list, and we are mapping this function square function with the number of variables here. So once we done with this one, we didn't got anything here, because the map function is returning multiple values as a result. It's not returning a single value, it's simply returning a multiple values. So these multiple values will be converted into list, then only we can get the result accurate, exact result. So when we convert it, see here, 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 3 squares 9, 4 square 16, 5 square 25. See, instead of calling same function for multiple times, we made it as a map function. Map is a function which is calling the square function based on the number of values what we have in the list data structure. So in this list we have 5 elements. So this map function will execute this square function for 5 times. First it will pass 1 as argument to that square function. 1 square will give the result. Second time it will pass 2 as argument. It will perform square of the 2. That is 2 square means 4 is the result. Next time it will pass 3 as a argument or the parameter to this square function. It will return 9 as a result, like 4, 16, 25. So that means map is a function which is used for an iterable object. That means for a repeated number of times. For a repeated number of times, we require to call the same function for multiple times. See, which is helping us to pass the parameter values. When you have multiple values, we are passing with the help of map function only. So reducing. You may ask me doubt that, sir, the same function can be called by using for loops or loops concept. We can do it, but more flexible than that one is a map is a function which help us to be, instead of using a separate variable to call the method, we directly have a map is a function. And with the help of that one, the map consists of 2 parameters. First one is a function name, and second one is a variable name. The variable is consist of multiple values. That is a list or a group of values here. Have you understand this? So next one, here we are doing that. When you are working with the more complex functions, there we can also use that map function. How it will be converted? Here we have splicer function here, which consists of 1 parameter, which having, but my string is a parameter here. Here I'm going to find that whenever the string length is even number, the number of characters in the given string is even number of characters, then only it will return that even, or else it will return my string of 0. That means when we have in a string odd number of characters, it will return first character of that string. See, here we have multiple characters, okay, John, Cindy, Sarah, Kelly, and Mike. So we have multiple values here, multiple strings here. It all consists of different length of characters. See, Sarah have that 5 characters. This is my odd number. In this odd number string, it will print that first character. If that is an even character, even number of character string, it will return even as element. See, in a John, there we have 4 letters, 4 characters. That means of that length of this first John string is 4, which means that is even. So when we have that length of the string is even, it will return even. When is the length of the string is odd, it simply return that first character of the given string. See, Sarah have that 5 characters, so that's why it's returning S is a value, first character, and Cindy is a 5 character, it returning first character of the string, and Kelly is a same like a 5 characters. So that's why it's returning K. When come to the Mike, it's returning even, because Mike consists of 4 characters. Whenever the string consists of odd number of characters, it will return first character. Whenever the string consists of even number of characters, returns even. This is a function which is doing that operation. See, for this function, I'm going to pass a parameter. The parameter must be my string. So here I'm going to pass more than one string to this one. See, here we are passing 5 character strings: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is holded by a variable that is called my names. Is a list variable. Here we are going to make it as a we're going to call this splicer function with the help of map. Here we are passing map. Map consists of function name comma variable name. When we call that one, we are converting to list. It's simply returning the result here. Okay, so map is a function which used to call that iterable functions. When you want to call that iterable function, we'll go that map function. Now we're coming to the filter function. Okay, so a filter function is like same as a map function, which is returning iterator. So iterator means same like a repeated, then iterable function will be called. It's true. So here let us see the one example, then we can easily understand better.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Sorry, someone muted me. Hello, is that audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, when come to the filter function, you have a function define check even, which consists of one parameter required. Here we are returning that return modulus 2, returning modulus 2. Okay, so just we have the variable that is numbers, which consists of multiple values, like in the previous example, like John. Okay, so here we are passing and we are filtering that only even numbers. We are filtering only even numbers, which means check even number is returning only even numbers, which is held by the filter function, and that filter function result will be holded as a multiple values. We are converting that multiple values to list function, converting that to list function. Then we got the result is this one. Okay, so next very important part of this class is lambda expression. So in general in Python, everything we have that like a name for that one. Okay, so it's a lambda expression allows to create anonymous functions, the function which doesn't have any special purpose, particular purpose. Okay, so which used to create an instant access if you want to work it with only for immediate purpose. So instead of using a define def, you can simply properly without needing of any def. See, in general, if you want to define a function, there we need a def to define a function. For every function, if you want to define that function, there we need a def. Here check even is a function, we are defining that function with the help of def keyword, define keyword. Here lambda is a single expression, not like a block of expressions like it. See, here we have that let us break down that. So square is a function, it is returning square of the given number we given it. It's the same square function, if you want to make it is by using lambda function as a lambda in single line. See, here we are using a name of the function. Here when you come to that number, instead of def we are using a lamd. So lambda function lambda is a lambda is a keyword, like which we are going to create a anonymous function, like which doesn't have any definition. We are not defining it, simply we are using lambda is a value parameter equal to return, which also returns same result how we performed with this square function. See, square have the name which is defined by the def. Do we have any name for this one? We don't have it. It executes anonymously. there is without name of the function, we are performing the operation. We are performing the operation. How we are performing? Lambda is a variable name, that is a function name, and the number colon number square 2, that is a number power 2. The number power 2 means number star star 2. We are writing it. So it returns that square. When you run this one, it automatically executes. When we print the result of 2, it will give the result of same 4. It's going to the same result here. Okay. Okay, this is the way of getting of lambda function. Lambda function, where will you see lambda function? Where don't you want to keep a name for the function? If you want to execute some operation anonymously, when you want to execute some operation anonymously, we must go with that lambda function. There is no need of defining a function name. See, in general, we must define a function name. In general, we must define a function name. But here, there is no need of defining a function name. So without defining a function name, we can perform the operation with the help of lambda. That is called anonymously. If you want to execute something, we'll go with this. Here, we can also pass lambda function as a parameter like a general function in map function. See, total operation we written here. And also belong this one, my numbers is a variable. Okay, here it's defining, it's performing square of each number. It's performing that, it's picking only even numbers in the given list. Okay, in the given list, it's picking of it. And likewise, we can also perform multiple things like it. Okay, we can also perform multiple things over here. Okay, next thing. So then we have that lambda. So just we are passing that, we are slicing and we are reversing the given string. And we are also performing some arithmetic basic operations like it. Okay, so like this we can do many operations with the help of lambda functions here. So in today's topic, as we discussed in the first concept of it, map function we discussed, and filter function we discussed, and also lambda function here. Now we'll move to the next topic here, like nested statements and scope of the nested statements. What is the nested statement and what is the scope of the nested statements will be discussed clearly here. Okay, so what is exactly nested means? Nested means a statement. If we write the function inside of other function is called nested function. If you write function inside of other function is called nested function. Okay, now how we write it? Sometimes the function maybe will be overwritten or something will be happen like it. Here we are going to perform some basic operation of we declared a global variable x equal to 25, and we are having that printer is a function which consists of internally x equal to 50 and returning that one. A simple function we are using here. So can we guess that which will be the result? Either it returns 25 or 50. Okay, when we run this function in general, it defaultly returns, when you try to print that, it will return a print of 25. When we call this function printer function, then only this statement will be executed. Then only this particular statement will be executed here. Okay, so that means the scope of this variable in x in printer function only within this function. Scope means life. This x variable will be defined or used only when we call this printer function. But when you come to the x is a variable which directly having the access, in general direct access we have it. Okay, but when we call this printer function, x will be modified. That means the life of the external x will be dead. So that's why when we call this function with the help of printer function, it will print that print 50, because the life of the x before that out of the function will be not continuous. When we call this inner function, that is a function, automatically the life of this x will be modified. The value of the x will be modified. Okay, that's the thing we have to know it. So in general we have that anything like local variables are global variables here. Okay, so let us think local. Okay, when you come to the local, when you write a value inside the function is called local. Best example like here we know that name is a, this is a global name. We can use that in any function of the same program. When come to that name inside of this function, that is Sammy is a local variable. And here when you try to print the name is defined inside of this one. Here hello is the main function and nested function is hello, sorry, greet is the main function and hello is the nested function for this greet function. So in general a name variable consists of different value, that is the global name. When we modify inside of this outer function, it's modified. Okay, so here we are calling the inner function inside of that outer function. See, we are calling this hello function in outside of the hello function, but inside of that great function. Great is a outer function and hello is a inner function. So that's why we are calling it. If I make it first, we'll run it. We got this hello Sammy. Let us comment it. If I comment it, if I try to execute, it will not exist. Are we getting anything? We are getting nothing here, because this function is not called. When you try to call this function, when you call this function, the output will be varied. Here we got that hello Sammy. So the inner function must be called inside of that outer function, not from outside of the outer function. We must call from inside of inner function. Okay, so that is called nested. Nested means if we write function inside of other function is called nested functions. Okay, if we write function inside of other function is called nested function. When you come to the global, global is nothing but like print of name. This is the name. In general, you directly print of it. See here, when we call this greet function, it's giving that Sammy, hello Sammy, is giving that inner value. When you directly print a name, it's out of the function, directly giving the global value. Okay, so like, so in Python, like some functions which we have that uh, inbuilt functions which we cannot rewrite them. See, a length is a function, is an inbuilt function. Length of object here. Length is inbuilt function which gives that number of characters which are available in the given string. We cannot rewrite that. We can overwrite. Okay, na? So we should not overwrite them of inbuilt functions. It's not possible of overwriting it because those are predefined. When we come to that local variables, see in general local variables inside of the function, if we declare variable inside of the function is called local variable. See, when in general we took a variable value is 50, we are trying to modify the value with the 2. Okay, na? Change the local value here. When you call that function with the passing of variable here. Okay, na? So when you call that, when you try to execute the x value from outside of the function will not be modifiable. So when you call that, x value will be not modifiable when you call it from outside of the function. When you use the same variable inside of the function, the value can be modifiable. See, x consists of 50 value. The same x can be modified with the 2. Where we are doing this modification inside of the function. Here x value will be, that scope of this x variable will be only inside of the function. The scope of x here, see, only within the function. In the life of this variable within the function only. Cannot affect on outside value. Okay, so only inside value will be modifiable. Cannot be effect on outside of the value. That's why when you run this one, it will give the result as usual. X inside outside is 50. Okay, change to local. We change to local. When you change it to local, it's modified to 2. But when you call it from outside of, still not changed. Only it's updated inside of the function only. When you come to that outside of the function, the value still will be old value only. Still the value is old value only. Okay, that means that you make a global variable. When you took a global variable, the value will be still global. Okay, so let us move on to that next. So see here, So some global statement, with the help of global statements, how will you do it? See here we have that x equal to 50. I have that x equal to 50, and we defining a function name. Inside of this function, we are declaring a variable with a global x. We are doing with a global x. Inside of this function, the function now using global x, because of the global x value is 50. Okay, we are using it as 50 as usual. We are modifying the x value to 2. It will be modified as usual. Okay, and from outside of the function, from outside of the, before calling the function, the value will be modified value. See, try to understand the difference between the previous example and this one. Without using the global variable, even if we try to change x, when you call the function, the value still is not modifiable. Even though after calling the function, the value still is not modifiable. When you use the global keyword inside the function, when you call the function, the value will be modifiable. Here the 2, it changed the 50 to, the value of x will be changed 50 to 2. But here in the previous example, without using global variable, the value is not modifiable, not modified. The value is not modified value. Have you understand this, guys? Guys, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood
Yes,
difference
sir.
between global x and local global x? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. So next, that means globals and locals will be very helpful while we using them as outside of the function or inside of the function. Okay, so that is the importance of global and local variables what we are using here. Okay, so next one we have that args and keyword args, kw args, we have it. Arguments and keyword length of arguments like it. Here that arguments, that is args and kw args, we have it here. So simply in general, a function which we are passing the two values here, one is 40 and 60, here which we are going to perform multiplication of it. Just we are sum of, we are adding sum of, returning sum of, sum is inbuilt function is returning that 40 plus 60 100. Okay, 100 into 0.05, it returning that 5.0. See how we are making that is returning 5% of the value, total value. A and B, we have the two values, we are passing the 5%. Let us see here. For example, we have A, B, C, D, E. Initially, we are making defaultly 0 as a value for each parameter. Default values, we are making that default values here. When we will not give any value to the particular variable, here we have that A, B, C, D, E, sum of A, B, C, D, E. But how many elements we have here? We required five parameters to pass it here. But what we're doing here, we're not passing 5 parameter values. Here we're passing only 3 values, 40, 60 and 20. Okay, so 40, 60, 20 means 120, we have it. 120 into 5.05, 6.0, because 120 into 0.5 will get 12 5s are 60. Okay, we'll get that 6.0. Here you have to understand that when we are using a multiple parameters, when you want to accept only less number of values while calling the function, there we can use the default values parameter. Here when you not give the A value, it will think that that is 0. When you not give the B value, then that thinks that 0 is given, default it takes 0. And when you not give the C value, default it takes 0. And will not give the D, it will get that 0. So like this we can access the values. So variable length of, here args, star args, which means instead of creating a default values to each variable, each parameter, instead of writing, like for example you have 5 parameters, we can write it. But when you have that more than 5, like 100 I required, in that situation we'll face a problem that while we defining the variables or parameters. So to solve this problem, they have that args, star args here, variable length of arguments, we have it. Here the function, my function, which we are defining star args, instead of instead of writing default parameter values a equals 0, b equals 0, c equals 0, d equals 0, e equals 0. Instead of that one, what we are doing, we are taking only simply star args. Any number of length we can take is the value. So here we took 3 values. We can also take 5 values. We can also take 10 values. See here, when you give that 60 and 40, when you take it, it will be accepted. Nothing will be happen. Here a star args means it can take variable length of arguments. You may have doubt that, sir, is it mandatory to use only star args? Can we use that n? Is it possible? Is it possible? Yes, we can do it. Here, it's not star args is not a predefined thing. Instead of args, we can use xyz also, no problem. We can use x, we can use y. Anything can be used. That must be a variable or a identifier can be used to take as an arg. It's not mandatory to take only star args. See here, just we have taken that the star spam. It's instead of args, just we take spam. And next we have that star kw args, that is a keyword length of arguments like it. Key add values pairs, keyword arguments we have it. So keyworded arguments will say that. So numbers from keyword arguments. Here we will give the values as a pair of values. Here we can give pair of values. So how it will be? Let us take a fruit in the kw args. For example, user is giving fruits. If you want to pick only fruits in the given string, just we have that if fruit in keywords, when you find that fruit in the keyword variable, it will print that my favorite fruit is keyword arg fruit, and don't like fruit. When you will not find that, don't like fruit. See, fruit equal to pineapple. Just we are given pineapple here. What is that? It's a fruit. It's a fruit. When you get that it's a fruit, it's simply printing that message which what we written here. My favorite fruit is pineapple. Here with that keyword arguments. So that means we are pairing that a given user input to that existing data. Given user input to that existing data. We can do it. When you run this, it's got it. When you call the function without parameter, see, when you call the function without, here we are calling the function with a parameter that is fruit. When it matches with the fruit in a keyword, when we are passing the value as a parameter, when it matches the fruit, it will print that. When you not pass the value through the function, when you not pass the value through the function, it will raise, it will not show that. That is a, it don't, I don't like fruit values. We can also combine variable length of arguments with the keyword arguments. We can combine them, but keyword number of variable length of arguments star args must be before that star keyword arguments. We must follow the order. First one single star args and double star keyword arguments we can do it. See, when we giving, while we passing the parameters, it must matches that fruit must be consistent and also juice. If both are true, then it will checks in keywords. Both are true, it checks in the keyword, that is a kw words args. So here if it is fine, okay, simply it will print that I like, I like and join, that is args. We are joining that. What we are doing here, I like eggs and spam like my favorite fruit and cherries. So when we call this one, keyword length of arguments will be executed here. Here we are making that, that is a pairing that result, pairing that parameters with the arguments. First argument will be with the first parameter, first value, and second parameter with the second value. See, x is matching with that first one, and spam are the two values. So here x are must be liked with that x, and spam are matched with that favorite fruits in cherries. Okay, So that's why while we executing, while when we execute it, it gives the result that I likes, I like eggs and spam. Okay, I like eggs and spam, and my favorite fruit is cherries. A meaningful sentence got printed here. Okay, so just we printed here. So here also just we are my function, we are taking that, we are calling this function with that fruit equal to cherries, juice equal to orange, eggs and spam. See, while we passing them, we it's giving that error, it's giving that error positional argument must follows keyword arguments. Positional arguments must follows keyword arguments. So what is the mean of positional arguments with the keyword arguments here? Here we given keyword arguments first, then we given eggs and spam. So that means how we should we give? We should give like this only. First we should give that positional arguments, then we'll start keyword arguments. See, when we call this method, when we call this one, we'll execute it. See, now it got it. When we change the position, when we copy this x and spam to before that fruit equal to juice equal to, it will give us the error. Okay, got it. Okay, so today I'm going to share that homework for concepts into that GitHub. I'll share that GitHub accounts, GitHub details to your work. Okay, I'll give that homework and functions and methods here. Everyone should submit that by day after tomorrow, maximum time. I'm going to share those. You must do it. Okay, so from today onwards, we'll have a regular sessions over here. So these concept methods and functions will be concluded here itself, and tomorrow we are going to start like next method, next one, that is project based. First project we are going to work with that. I'll explain that project and I'll ask you that one before starting our object oriented programming concept. Okay, our milestone project will be started over here. Okay, have you understand that concept today?